Welcome. That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. The NFL continues to indiscriminately wheel and deal former first-round quarterbacks like used car salesman Perna. To be completely transparent, Will Keys and I started writing this episode days before Carson Wentz was traded. And I'm a little angry we didn't finish this beast before that went down. But with all of the quarterbacks who might be on the move and the rookies to be drafted, figuring this out turned into the "It's Always Sunny" meme. I predicted Wentz would go to the Colts, so that really didn't change this episode much. That said, there's still plenty to discuss, so brace for impact as I predict every starting quarterback for the 2021 season. It's Good Sports. Look at this coffee bag. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. BenchwarmerBrew.com. That's my coffee company. If you want to support this channel, it's a great way to do it. You get a high-quality bag of beans. Organic, ethically sourced, craft beans. This is a medium blend. It's my coffee. So I can promote it however I want. Buy it, bitch. All right, today I'm going division by division, team by team, and predicting their starting QB for the 2021 season. Will I contradict myself? I don't think so, but maybe. Do I expect to be mostly successful? Yeah, absolutely. I will be at least 50% correct. But the fact that I thought this topic would be interesting enough for a video is a testament to just how volatile and uncertain the quarterback position is these days. Teams want to upgrade their QB rather than build around a QB. They're generally impatient, and sometimes the quarterbacks themselves want to get out. That's the trend these days, and you can thank the Chiefs for trading up for Patrick Mahomes when they already had Alex Smith, as well as the Cardinals, who just said fuck you to Josh Rosen and picked Kyler Murray. So I will start with the NFC West, fly south, and then like Ted Cruz immediately turn back around and finish in the AFC West and pretend like that was the plan the entire time. NFC West, the San Fran 49ers. Their QB, not Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm going with BYU quarterback Zach Wilson. They will have to jump the Panthers at 8 and trade with the Falcons at 4 or Bengals at 5 or Eagles at 6. I think the 49ers trade up to get him, and he's the perfect fit for the Shanahan offense and will be cheap for the foreseeable future. Watch out for the dark horse candidate here, though, Josh Rosen, who the Niners just re-signed to ensure they get the guy they really want. When Rosen is on the roster, the team drafts their future franchise QB. That's how it works. Arizona Cardinals. Kyler Murray. He's not going anywhere, but I wonder if Cliff Kingsbury will be if they don't improve this year. Seattle Seahawks. It will be Russell Wilson. Despite all of the trade talk of him wanting out of Seattle, I think a lot of it is posturing and trying to use his leverage to get some more talent on that offensive line. We have to keep in mind that Russell Wilson is a very weird person, married to a celebrity with celebrity needs and ambition. Wilson has a bizarre, possibly warped sense of reality. Give him 2 weeks and he might forget he wanted out altogether. The Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford will beat out John Wolford in a fierce quarterback competition to steal the starting job. Just kidding. My question is whether Wolford will give Stafford number 9 or if Stafford switches to his college number 7. NFC South? The New Orleans Saints. Because the Saints are so strapped for cash, I think they'll just start Taysom Hill and draft a rookie. Let's say Kyle Trask out of Florida. Any team drafting late in the first round, I'll just say Kyle Trask out of Florida. Tampa Bay, the Bucks. FYTB, they're going with Tom Brady. He will start the season, but the Buccaneers will draft Jamie Newman out of Wake Forest to groom as his backup, who he will then alienate and personally trade to another team when he refuses to ever fucking retire. Carolina Panthers. The Panthers will let go of Teddy Bridgewater and replace him with the 12th pick in the draft. Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. Lance only started one season in college, never throwing an interception that whole year, but he will not be the starter. Oh, no. He'll be beat out by former XFL MVP, in my eyes, PJ Walker. People keep thinking Carolina is freeing up cap space for a quarterback. I think they're going to add key vets to that defense, that very young defense, through free agency. Atlanta Falcons. New Falcons coach Arthur Smith is too smart to not stick with Matt Ryan for now, who I think will have a bounce-back season, put up huge numbers, while the Falcons finish 7-9. NFC North, Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers is upset, but he will stay in Green Bay for at least another season before testing open waters, where he will replace Tom Brady in Tampa Bay when Tom actually retires after winning his 8th Super Bowl. Minnesota Vikings. The 49ers have reportedly been interested in Kirk Cousins, but the Vikings should hang on to Kirk, who really was not the problem last season. He wasn't the guy giving up 6 touchdowns to Alvin Kamara. Kirk was the one throwing 4,200 yards and 35 touchdowns. Getting rid of Cousins when your defense gave up the 4th most points per game is like treating diabetes with a new haircut. Which is why I got this bad boy. My blood sugar may be through the roof, but I look all right. Detroit Lions. The Lions got back Jared Goff in the Stafford deal, but I also think they'll draft a quarterback. Kellen Mond on the 2nd day of the draft. I should mention that beating Goff will be much easier in Detroit than it was in LA. Chicago Bears. New reports suggest they didn't even make Philly an offer for Carson Wentz. So how those rumors started, we'll never know. Never mind, the media, they gotta get them clicks. That's how they start. Chicago is interesting because I don't think their starting quarterback is currently on the roster. The Colts, Rams, Bears, and Washington, all playoff teams, are getting new QBs. The Bears have called about Derek Carr, but have been shot down, so I think they signed free agent Cameron Newton, the guy their fans wanted last season, and keep Nick Foles to back him up and draft someone like Davis Mills in the early part of the draft. NFC East, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has until March 9th to get a deal done with Dak before slapping the tag on him again, which would be $37.7 million for this season. Not a bad salary to make to ensure your ankle doesn't collapse when you step back in the pocket. Adam Schefter says the sides are not close on a new deal. The NFL Network says they are. So what do you believe? I don't know. I think Dak stays in Dallas unless something happens in the AFC North. So hang on there for another minute and I will titillate you. Washington football team. The Washington football team just signed Taylor Heineke to a 2-year deal, which is why they will trade for Sam Darnold. That's right, Darnold goes to Washington. They give up the 19th pick to get him. Why Washington? They need a quarterback. They have money, and the Jets have too much respect for Darnold to trade him to the Texans. So enjoy the next worst thing, Sam. Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be Jalen Hurts, as long as no one decides that Nate Sudfeld needs any more reps. A lot of people think the Eagles could still be in the market for another quarterback, but this team needs a lot more than QB, so I think they should just take the best player available in the draft. The New York Giants. Like Drew Lock, I think Daniel Jones deserves a chance to improve in his 2nd season with the new offense. The Giants will probably add another wide receiver either in the draft or via free agency, and he'll have the luxury of getting Saquon Barkley back. AFC South, or what I call the domino division, because there could be 3 new quarterbacks here, depending on what happens with Deshaun Watson. Tennessee Titans. They are safe with Ryan Tannehill and King Henry. We all are. I would like to hire Derrick Henry to watch over me and my family while we sleep. Nothing, not even ADT or Simply Safe, could make me feel more secure. Now the Jacksonville Jaguars. Best bet, Trevor Lawrence will be their starter, assuming Urban Meyer doesn't hire any more racist coaches to fill out his staff. The question here is, what do they do with Gardner Mississippi Mudflap Minshew? If he's content serving as a backup, there's very few players I'd rather have as QB2 in the league. I think there's too great of a risk, though, of him convincing Trevor Lawrence to rock a mullet and chop off that luscious, flowing angel hair, so I think Jacksonville eventually deals him. The Indianapolis Colts. Phillip Rivers retired, Jacoby Brissett is a free agent, and Indy traded for their man, Carson Wentz. They were too good last season to be in position to draft their guy, and the one place I really think Wentz can be fixed is Indy. Now, after reports surfaced that Wentz and Doug Peterson didn't speak to each other for close to 2 months, Frank Reich better be able to communicate with Wentz telepathically.
She called it shiny.
Texans. Oh, you dirty Houston Texans. Your starting quarterback? Tim Tebow. Probably the only person who loves Jesus more than Jack Easterby. Tebow retired from almost professional baseball and is just desperate enough to be the lone person on earth who'd be excited to play in that shithole they call the Texans organization. The AFC North, the most stable QB division in the league. Maybe. The Steelers. I think Big Ben has one more year left with the Steelers. Not a good year, but a year nonetheless. That said, just this week, GM Kevin Colbert, or is it Colbert, didn't seem too thrilled about the idea of bringing Roethlisberger back. We know he has to take a big pay cut, but I think the Steelers are more ready to move on than Ben. So again, let me circle back here because I have a plan that does involve Dallas and Big Ben. The Ravens. Lamar Jackson isn't going anywhere. In fact, he probably gets an extension soon. The Ravens need to get him a wide receiver, a jump ball big wide receiver, which is tough because they're not a huge free agent destination. Primarily because you have to live in Baltimore, and the show The Wire did not paint that in a pretty light. The Bengals. Joe Burrow. Now, he might not start the season. It really depends on where his knee is in the rehabilitation process. I really hope Joe's knee can get that drinking problem under control. Now, the Cleveland Browns. Baker Mayfield will start, and if the Browns are smart, he will be getting a contract extension before the season begins. A lot of people are calling Baker a system quarterback, which doesn't quite make sense when you simply remember that he was the rookie of the year in another system. And if that system's there to stay, who cares? AFC East. The Jets. Their starting QB, Justin Fields. It feels like the most likely scenario, despite Zach Wilson magically jumping to the top of everyone's draft boards, even though no additional college football has been played. Now, I wish other facets of life worked like that. Like if I stopped making videos for 6 months and somehow more people decided to subscribe. It's called playing hard to get, I think. And the Miami Dolphins, a big question mark. But are they? It kind of blows my mind that Tua, after going 6-3 in 9 starts, is being talked about as a bust. It's the most prime example out there for patience going out the window. That said, I think the Dolphins will explore trading for Deshaun Watson, but end up keeping Tua, drafting either Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith, and rolling with Tua for another season. Their plan was to rebuild. They're doing a good job at rebuilding, and they have the quarterback they wanted to rebuild with, so why blow that up? Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen isn't going anywhere. After last season, I think he will have a lifetime pass to be the Bills quarterback no matter what happens. Unless he shows literally any sign of regression. The New England Patriots. It seems like just about a lock that Cam Newton won't be in New England. My guess, and a lot of people's assumption, is that Bill Belichick will get Jimmy Garoppolo back via a trade. The one that got away. Jimmy G starts the season, and the Patriots also spend a pick on a quarterback. Let's just say Mac Jones out of Alabama. Things worked out pretty good for the Pats the last time they selected the least athletic-looking quarterback in the draft. And here we are, the AFC West, where shit's about to get wild. Not with the Chiefs, though. They've got Patrick Mahomes. Only Mahomes. Get ready for some unbelievable incompletions in 2021. The Chargers. Justin Herbert lit it up last year and is probably one of the few quarterbacks you wouldn't give up for Deshaun Watson, considering he's got 3 more years on his rookie deal. The Raiders, the Vegas Raiders. Now, they would be dumb to move on from Derek Carr. And that is exactly why the Raiders will move on from Derek Carr. Ultimately, I think they'll try to trade for Deshaun Watson, fail, and get stuck with a pissed-off Carr, who they then deal to the Dallas Cowboys, who see him as a cheaper Dak Prescott, who they tag and then trade to the Steelers because Pittsburgh made Big Ben retire, which leaves the Raiders with Marcus Mariota in 2021. Not that he's a bad option, but this forces John Gruden and Mike Mayock to make a trade for Gardner Minshew. The one place Gardner belongs that's not in the South is Las Vegas. So, Derek Dallas Carr finally lands in the city that his middle name holds, and the Steelers get the perfect guy to replace Ben Roethlisberger. A strong, elusive player who has no qualms throwing it 50 times every game. I had to have one crazy trade scenario in this video, and maybe that's it. Or maybe Derek Carr just stays, Dak stays in Dallas, and Ben plays one more season with the Steelers. But that's not sexy. If this turns out to be right, you gotta credit me for being a genius. But we're forgetting about one player, aren't we? We're forgetting about one key man. And one key team, the Denver Broncos. Are you ready? I'm gonna say it. I'm about to say it. Deshaun Watson will start for the Denver Broncos in Week 1. Denver trades 3 first-round picks, a second, Drew Lock and Von Miller, who is from Texas, to the Texans for Deshaun Watson and a 4th-round pick. With that 4th-round pick, they select Rodarius Williams, cornerback out of OSU. He's the older brother of Greedy Williams somehow. Somehow he's still in college and is older than Greedy, but he will be the better corner. And this means Drew Lock will be Tim Tebow's backup, and the Broncos' bad QB draft history comes full circle as Tebow, Lock, and Osweiler all have made stops in Houston. And then Lock and Tebow, they'll probably fizzle out, and Paxton Lynch will be brought in to finish the season for the Texans. Amen. Boom! Thanks for watching every starting quarterback prediction episode here on That's Good Sports. You can subscribe and you can click the video on the screen right now if you want to watch more of my crap. Crap it is!